I bet you've been wondering, what in the world is this thing doing here? Why is it in the middle of everywhere? I mean, this is a major traffic pattern. I walk past here all the time, walk right past this weirdo, ugly thing that looks like it's a redstone thing, but what does it do exactly? Well, today we shall use it. I'll give you a little bit to guess what it is, though. You may be able to guess if you can remember back far enough. But it's actually a reminder to me. One of two reminders. This is my to-do book. By the way, if you don't have one of these in Minecraft, they are so helpful to remember what to do. But yeah, build sky elevator and place in the sky. It's actually an elevator that we can use to travel upwards. And I've been hoping to make like a big place in the sky, and I have some cool ideas for what we could do. But let's just test and make sure that this elevator works the way I think it does. Just to be sure. So I think what we do... Ah! Look at that. Oh, there you can see the Enderman flytrap. You can see the llama exhibit we worked on last episode, the farm, the village, the creeper monument, I guess? I don't know what it is. So, we're gonna go up a ways here. Even above the iron farm, actually. So once we get to about 280, I'm gonna slam on the brakes of this thing, which is pretty much just gonna be me spamming blocks. And then, you just have to put enough blocks until the piston can't push it all anymore. So, man, I was actually hoping we wouldn't be able to see the ground too well. But I guess this will give us some space to work. No, you know what? We're just going higher. Oh my goodness, this weather is getting just even worse somehow. Yeah, we're gonna go... Oh. I'm gonna need some blocks. So, I really want, like, we're making a space kind of room area. And I have some cool ideas for that. We're using iron. I can't believe we have actually reached the point in the series where iron is like a throwaway block. We're just using it and we don't care if we lose it. So the idea is to have a space themed area, or like a space feeling area. And I really want it to be far enough away from the ground that it feels like you're disconnected from it. Like you're not... You know, the difference between like being in a tall building and being in like a spaceship above the earth, like looking down, where, you know, one of them it's like, yeah, you're on earth. And the other one it's like, no, you're not. You're far away. What are we at? 300. We need some space to build. So maybe we could back it down to like the exactly 300 instead of 302. Well, I guess it cleared up now. Oh, wow. You almost can't see the bottom of the ground right there. Oh, that's cool. All right. This is going to work then. One of the challenges with making a room in the sky is based on what I'm doing right now. Like if you have a big platform, like for a room, and we're going to have a really big room, I'm hoping. Oh, good. If we ran out of iron, I'd have to... Oh, that'd be kind of a problem. But when you have a big room like this, you actually begin to create some issues on the ground. So I should set this up so that it can go up and down. Because the cool thing about having it this high is like even portals aren't going to be good for getting up here. So what I was talking about before, one of the biggest challenges is going to be the shadow that it casts on the ground. Or at least that's what I thought. Now that I'm here... it really isn't that much darker. Now, the platform that we make would probably be a lot bigger than what it is right now. And you can see, like, this is pretty dark. Like, in fact, if we stand here and look at the skylight, it's only 10. So you know the iron farm? It's actually right above the edge of the island, and it's super obvious over here. In fact, if we take away some of these torches, it starts looking like it's nighttime over here. So that's going to be one of our challenges in building the space room, is we don't want it to be this dark on the ground. So to combat that, we have a few options. One of the options is build smaller platforms and space it out with like glass walkways or something. So if that little like staircase, if that's made out of glass, then skylight can get through that and light up the ground. And so it'll be kind of dark in some places, but it won't be super noticeable. So that's one option. The other option is we can just build it over something we don't really care if it's dark over. So like here, there's nothing here really, except for the entrance to the dolphin tunnel down there. So we could build it over the water, or, you know, maybe a part of the island that just has nothing. So that's the other option. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But question number 2 is, where do we want the elevator? Because we don't actually want the elevator right here. It was just here to remind me as I walked past. We're going to want to put it somewhere that is fairly convenient. And because we don't need like a giant like glass tube that goes up or something like you used to need with those minecart elevators. Oh, I don't know if you remember those. That was from a while ago. I don't know if people still do them, but I was thinking in here actually might be kind of cool because we don't actually need this enchanting table. So we could have this be like a little elevator station. It does kind of depend on where we pop out. Oh, that's not ideal. We could extend it this way a little bit. Oh, you know what? This would be good. It would put a shadow over this. Is that okay? Might be fine. So I don't want to spend too long on the elevator itself, but I got a working like setup here, and there's like a little platform we can sit on. Currently I haven't dug all the way out, and it gets stuck against the ceiling. But once I dig all the way out, then we'll be able to fly all the way into space. And I have some obsidian on my hotbar, which we can use to stop it. Okay, we're gonna aim for just a rough height because we can adjust it slightly later. So we'll want to time this right about 2, 1. That was too early. 298. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. So then we would do like that probably. I do like how if there's a lot of clouds, you like really can't see the ground. That's kind of nice. The cloud gives a sort of a pleasant separation from the monotony of the ground. So, I guess we could try and trigger this. How brave are we? Very brave. Nice. Okay. So now we should be at 300. Yep. So we can start making like a catwalk kind of that comes out from this. I think what we'll do is the bits that are over the ground will be glass. Oh, I left the ender chest is down there. Well, actually I think we can set up a pretty simple, whoops, that's too high. A pretty simple trigger. Let's check that. Oh, why is my inventory full this high up? Oh, hey, didn't all fall off. That's good. And then we'll place the observer back here. It's kind of weird that there's no block here, but the observer signal seems to quasi connect to the piston. So I don't think it would work on bedrock, but here we go. Oh wait, does it need to be directly on this? Really? Oh, you know what we need? Good thing I have Elytra. Whoops. I think it's going down. Alright, here's the ender chest. So, kind of a full inventory. Yeah, what we need is a redstone lamp because the block update detect, or the observer will be able to detect the block update super easily. And then we have it hooked up to redstone. Man, that takes a while to come down. All right, We got the ender chest. Yep, okay. I should honestly increase that delay just a little bit more. Oh well. Alrighty, slap a button on top of that, and so then when we press the light, it lights up the block, and when the observer is actually there, it'll detect the change in the light block, and then it'll actually trigger, and everything should work. So now we can actually get started on the base itself. So we're gonna want glass. I haven't quite decided. Did I forget to fill this up? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be going up and down off camera so many times. But I haven't decided what color to work with yet. So we're just gonna make it out of regular glass, and we can easily change it later. Oh yeah, we're over it already. Yeah, that's not too bad. So we really only need the glass over the part that is not ocean. So like right here, we can start with our primary block, which of course I've forgotten. At this point, it's just an excuse to ride the elevator. Well, I guess since we need to fill up the glass box too, we might as well make a trip down and test this out. Ah, yes. Excellent. So what block are we going to use for the primary portion of the base? Why, great question. We are going to use skulk. Wait, my goodness. My inventory is never empty. Here we go. I got the project box, shulker box, so we can actually just stash a ton of this in here. And I was thinking we could slap some skulk veins on maybe some frog lights, but I don't know which color would look best. So I figured we'd just kind of do this together. So if we pop some skulk like that and then put some vines in front, we can just kind of see which one looks the best. Here, let's put it up. Oh, I'm gonna have to be really careful. Hitting that without silk touch is a bad idea. The green doesn't look quite right. I'm actually thinking that maybe sea lanterns would be the best bet, but let's just try these other ones. It's not terrible. That's better, actually. I don't know why. It doesn't actually make a lot of sense that it would be better. Let's try the sea lanterns. I'm guessing the sea lantern blue goes with the skulk slightly better. Yeah, it's actually not as amazing as I hoped. It's definitely closer, like when it's animating, there's some similarity. It's not quite right. That's glowstone. Not quite right. Nah, it's too, like, intentional looking. I think it needs to be kind of organic to match the skulk. This is turning into a bigger deal than I thought. I thought we were just picking a frog light. I mean, soul lanterns look alright with it. That's like the normal way you find them. Yeah, whatever. I just brought a lot of it. So first off, let's just get a basic room going. We'll probably need it when the phantoms start coming out, because I don't have a bed up here. And that's mostly because I'm probably going to be working through the night in-game. Don't really need one, but we should keep that in mind. So I really want to have like this, a room that's mostly skulk. In fact, the main thing I'm curious about right now is just if we make a room that is only skulk, how does that look? Does it seem a little bland? Does it look interesting still? Do we need maybe something here and there to kind of mix it up? Now we're only at Y304 here, so we actually have a lot of room to build, like 20 blocks up if we want to. And that's intentional because I really want there to be a lot of space in these rooms, because I actually have an idea for some command block stuff we can add. Oh boy. We are burning through the skulk really fast. This is just like a little square box. Uh-oh. It's not very big either. Oh dear. Well, so the idea is to try and make a little area that is anti-gravity, as the title indicates. So the simplest way we could do that would simply be to simply give us a simple effect. So first off, we'll start with levitation. And then slow falling. And hopefully the combination of the two of those will be interesting. So we'll slap a lever on here. And it looks like we just go straight up. Okay, so that was one of the things I was wondering is like, how... We need some way to control our direction. Oh dear, it appears I've blundered already. I can't turn it off. The command block survival thing that lets me delete command blocks is blocking the lever because I'm shifted right now. I can't unshift. Okay, this probably won't even work. Oh, I think I unshifted at least. Nope. Alright, pretty sure the only thing to do is to actually just teleport myself down a block. I can't believe I made this exactly like one block too small. Or too tall. There we go. That should end the effect. So to remedy this, we need some conditions. And an easy condition would be some predicates that I've already made. So this would only give levitation if I'm sneaking, which actually we need the opposite of. So it will only give levitation to me if I'm not sneaking. We probably need it to be a little bit lower. Let's see, so maybe we'll do like 3 seconds and an amplifier of like, can we do 0.1? Yeah, okay. Wasn't sure if it would let us do. What does -1 do? Nothing. What does 0 do? And then we click this on. And so we're getting 3 seconds this time. But if we hold shift, I believe... Oh, yeah. Okay, so the effects like go away immediately. Or not immediately, after a little bit. So then we probably want this to happen while we're sneaking. Oh, this is kind of fun. So it automatically makes you go up. And it takes a little bit. Actually, you know what? We could make it so that when you're sneaking, it immediately clears the levitation effect. That could work. I wonder if there's a way that we can make it so that we're held in stasis at a point, you know, like, so we're not going up or down. So currently, if I'm not touching anything, I go straight up and I just get the levitation effect. It seems, according to the wiki, that it may be possible to give myself levitation values that are negative, effectively. Like, you can't put in a negative number, but you can make it function negatively. So it sounds like it maybe is dangerous. So we're gonna put this valuables in here. So theoretically, a value of 127 makes you, whoopsie. Oh no. It makes you go down. So if we just pop this in here. Oh. Okay, that's what I was getting a little worried about. Okay, maybe its value's over 127? Such as 128. Oh. Oh, it makes you go down really fast. So there's one more number we can try, and this is where it potentially gets dangerous. This is actually the max. You can't actually put 256 because 0 is a number. That's computer numbers for you. Anyway, so 255 is the max, and I believe it freezes you, but it may have some weird interactions with the ground. Or maybe not. Oh, this is it. Oh, this is actually it. Okay, so then what we got to do is trigger regular levitation when we sprint, and then trigger slow falling and clearing of the levitation when we shift. And then we can navigate in... Oh, this is going to be so cool. Oh my goodness, I wasn't sure if that would work. I need more command blocks. Okay, so now if we're sprinting, it should replace 255 with the upward kind. No? Oh, I suppose it would help if I turn this into a conditional command block, or chain command block instead of... Okay. Wait, it's still not working. Hey, wait a second. That's not how that's supposed to work. Does this need to be 0? Oh, wait. There's something here. What does it say? Unable to apply this effect, target is either immune to effects or has something stronger. Oh, so the stronger one wins. Do that. Okay, now it should work. Okay, yeah, we're like slowly going up. We could potentially set the speeds. Oh my goodness, this is so perfect though. Oh yeah, this is fun right here. It's like command survival flight. Oh, it's anti-gravity. So we're going to need to think of some way to balance it. Number one, it should only work inside of the shulk areas. Okay, this is kind of fun though. It's weird because like in creative mode, like you're never worried about falling. It's like, who cares? But when you're flying like this in survival mode, you're constantly like, what if something breaks? Then we're in trouble. But yeah, so we'll make this only work inside of these shulk area or skulk areas. Shulk. But I think we need more than that somehow. This is actually really fun. I don't know how much it comes through like to what you can see, but like this is a blast. Why is this so much more fun than creative flight? So if we just give this a little bit of consideration as we build this here. If we think about the anti-gravity room, it is sort of like, it's like you're in space, right? So the default where you're not doing anything, no energy is expended, nothing special is required, is this state where we're not moving up, we're not moving down, we're just hovering. So this is the state of no energy. This shouldn't cost anything. It should only cost something if we want to move down, because like it's like we have to kick our legs and like swim through the air down, like you would in space, kind of. It's not. I don't know exactly how it would work in space. Never been into space, like most humans. And if you move up, then that would also expend energy. So the way that movement, like the risk reward for movement in Minecraft is hunger. So that could be a really simple way that we balance this out. So that way, like if you want to move up, you want to move down, like it just costs a little bit of hunger. No big deal. And that way there's not like any insane price, because we want to use this a lot. We don't want it to be like super expensive. We want it to be like a fun little playground type of thing. So I think food might be a decent solution for that. Hey, wait, why can't I pick this up? What in the world is going on here? Can I not pick up items in this mode? What? That's weird. You have to be on the ground to pick up the item. Oh, wait a second. Should we do this effect to items? Now, if I'm not mistaken, items have a special tag that's not on by default, but you can turn it on, called no gravity. If we want it to have no gravity, that should be true, which would be 1. So now, yes. Okay, so, and I'm pretty sure no gravity doesn't remove the motion. So if we swap this over and then change that, And I think if we turn this on, we'll start getting some floating items that will fly across the room. Yes. Oh, look at that. They float in the correct direction. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, nice. Nice. And I bet you're starting to see why I was really hoping to have like some tall rooms. Because we have a lot more vertical movement than we would have otherwise. So there's actually quite a bit of potential to have like a really tall structure and to have us like float up one side, you know, maybe access like, maybe there's an enchanting table at the top. And then when we're done, we go down and then we go to our, you know, regular chest area and, you know, stuff like that. So the fact that we have, what, 20 blocks of building space, like how tall is this right now? Oh yeah, I got a sprint. There we go. So this is what, 305. So we have 15 additional blocks upwards. So that would give us a lot of vertical space. Yes, so how much skulk do we have left? Half of what we brought. We brought 1, 2, 3, what, 9 stacks? We have 5 left. We have made a room. Not even a full room. Uh-oh. It's okay. Oh no. Oh, that's something that I forgot. When you break blocks, when you break blocks, they spring out, you know? They have a little bit of momentum. They get launched out a ways, so there's a potential for these items to actually just get like launched into space and never return. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Did you see what just happened there? So that's what I was talking about when I said 255 could be dangerous. It has this weird thing where occasionally when you touch the ground, it will just launch you like a rocket ship, fittingly. So let's set up the trade-off. It shouldn't be too difficult. It's just going to require a little bit of simple math. So when you sprint normally, you lose, I think it is the equivalent of the hunger effect for 1 second. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a way to calculate how fast we're moving up and down. Okay, so then we'll just have this ticking up. And it doesn't really matter what number it's on. All that matters is what number it starts on and then what number it ends on when we get to 301.000. So it'll probably be too fast to see, but you can kind of give it a guess. Maybe like how many ticks. There's 20 ticks in a second, so I'll give you a second. All right, you have your guess? You're ready? Here we go. Okay, it was very fast, I know. All right, so I'm gonna go review the footage and get the exact number. All right, drum roll, please. It was from 6:30 was the first frame we moved to 6:45. So it took 15 frames. So if you guessed that, that's impressive. I honestly thought it would take more than a second. So that's 15 frames, or not frames, 15 ticks is actually less than a second in Minecraft. There's 20 ticks in a second. So that means we can pretty much apply about a second of hunger. Conveniently, the default effect for hunger is a 20th of a second. So like if we just, all we should really have to do is just say, give them hunger for like a split second. Let's see. If we do hunger effect of this, yeah, it shouldn't hardly affect our hunger bar. But if we run it like, I don't know, 20 times, which is how many it would run. Better way to test. Let's just slap this. Let's slap this in the repeating command block and just run it a lot. Because what we want to happen is we want it to not have a, we want it to not have a really obvious effect on the hunger. It shouldn't just like drain our hunger if we just barely move. It should be something that drains it over time. So we want to make sure that it is actually ticking down over time, but it's slowly ticking down over time. So slap this on and our hunger is constantly green. That's not great. So we move around. Yeah, look at that. It's going down. Oh wait, we got to make sure not to sprint because that will slightly mess up the results. Okay, it doesn't look like it's going. Let's put it at at 1. This might be too much, but we'll give it a try. Oh, that's what we're looking for. It took a little while, but then the meat pop went down. So this is like assuming we're moving the whole time, like we're shifting the whole time. And then there it is. There it is. Okay, it went down. Perfect. So that takes quite a while, but it's not like super, super slow. So I think that that should be a pretty decent balance. It's a little annoying that the hunger bar turns green, but then it does kind of match the wall. So maybe it's okay. So that should actually be a pretty simple balance and a really easy one too. So it should be as simple as just pasting this command in, making sure we use all the right syntax, and just making it conditional. So it'll only run when it gives us the levitation effect. So all of the checks and stuff are done on this command block, and then this one should just work, I think. So we'll make sure that it's all hunky-dory, but that should work. So we got 2 conditional ones, and now we actually should be receiving the hunger effect. Oh, it's not working on the sprint. Okay. That's why we test things. Man, this episode sometimes. That should make it work. Okay, let's turn this back on. And look at that, all of a sudden it works. So now we're losing hunger every time we move. 3 stacks. Ooh, we might be making a skulk farm next episode. Probably not this one, but let's try and at least make a box. That way we at the bare minimum we have an anti-grav room. And we can expand on it later. I didn't really imagine that we would be finishing this whole project today. I just wanted to try out the anti-grav and just kind of see like what this idea would look like. You know, does it make any sense? Is it going to look cool? Etc. etc. So just try and finish up this room with what we have. Oh yeah, mining is slower. That's kind of an interesting side effect. That's sort of like a natural trade-off. Yeah, we can float around all day long, but breaking blocks and such is going to be slightly more annoying. Oh, yep, gotta eat. Cool, cool. Let's make the ceiling first. Just in case. Oh, all right. Yeah, look, if he hits me, I just like, I don't know. It's like as soon as I get a little bit of, oh my goodness. Once I get like a little bit of upward momentum, it's just like infinite, which I guess makes sense because if we're at like a sort of like a levitated equilibrium, then any movement in a direction would immediately send us like up or down in like infinite. Like it's the same as space, right? Like if you get bopped from one side, then you're just gonna keep going up and up and up and up. But it does mean that if we get hit when we are not undercover and we're doing this floating thing, we will just fly straight up into the sky. So, yeah. Ceilings are going to be a big deal, I think, with this this area. Oh, just a little short. Yeah. That's okay. We have a window, I guess. Oh wow, this is a fun project. Wait, did I take damage when I hit the ground? Excuse me? That is weird. That's probably how I got launched up before, is I took damage when I hit the ground. And then, yeah, that's weird. This is a no questions asked, like, anti-grav room. This is really fun. This is, dude, imagine, oh man, when we actually have like all of the stuff in here, like we have chests and like, you know, the crafting table's up a little way, so we gotta like float up, do some crafting, and then go back down to our chests. Like this kind of vertical movement it's really new and fun. So I like it. Well, definitely more work to do on this. We're not finished. This is really more of a prototype, and it was a successful prototype, I might add. But in terms of like the building, like it's literally a box. We don't have a good place to put these command blocks where they, see, it happened again. But yeah, we don't have a good place to put these where I don't accidentally break them. The elevator is ugly right now. So there's a lot of improvement we can do in the future. But that will be in the future, and I think that this is going to do it for this episode. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll put the commands in the description for the anti-grav. The thing is, you need predicates, and which I can put in the description too, but you have to kind of know how to set that up with a data pack. You can Google it if you really, really, really want to set it up. Anyway, so that's going to be it from me. I hope you enjoyed watching this. This was a pretty fun project, so I hope you liked it as well as I did. And yeah, I think that about covers it. So I'll catch you next time. Later, later.